Tonight, we begin a journey. This isn't a journey like any other. It's not one you can track with a map or measure with steps. It's not a journey that takes you across vast lands or through busy cities. It's not about traversing oceans or traveling through space. There's no hurry in this journey. It moves slowly, gently, and with purpose. There's no destination you need to reach, no goal to chase. This is a journey that exists not outside, but inside. A journey into the mind, into thought, into the very essence of our being. The journey we begin is one of quiet contemplation. The journey we begin is one of quiet contemplation, a sacred and peaceful journey that invites us to step away from the noise and distractions of everyday life. It is a path that takes us through the infinite, through the vastness of time and space, but in a way that is different from the usual understanding of such concepts. This journey doesn't ask us to cross oceans or travel to distant galaxies. Instead, it takes us deep into the vastness of our minds, exploring the endless possibilities of thought and uncovering the mysteries of the universe that reside within us. This is not a journey of outward movement, but of inner exploration. We do not need to travel to faraway places. We only need to be still, to be present, and to let our minds take flight. The idea of journey often evokes images of long roads, winding paths, or distant destinations. We are used to thinking of movement, of going from one place to another, of conquering challenges, or overcoming obstacles along the way. But this journey is different. It may feel slow at times, but in this slowness, there is a kind of wisdom. There is peace. The stillness of the journey allows us to listen to the quiet whispers of the universe, to hear the subtle messages that are often drowned out by the rush of daily life. And in that stillness, we find clarity. The mind is a vast, uncharted territory, one that holds the keys to understanding not only the external world, but also our own inner world. The thoughts we have, the ideas we explore, and the dreams we chase are all part of this infinite landscape that exists within us. And just as the universe is filled with wonders we have yet to fully understand, so too is our mind filled with infinite possibilities. The journey we embark on is a journey to discover these possibilities, to explore the realms of thought and imagination that are uniquely our OW and AS. You sit here now. In this moment, take a deep breath and allow yourself to pause. Close your eyes, and in doing so, close off the distractions of the outside world. Let everything around you fade into the background. The noise, the movement, the demands, let them all disappear for now. In the absence of these distractions, you are free to turn inward, to look at the world within. Let your senses quiet, your mind relax, and your body soften. Feel the weight of the world lift off your shoulders, as though the very act of pausing has allowed you to release the burdens you carry. Your breath becomes slow, steady, and deep. In each inhale, you invite peace and calm into your being. In each exhale, you release any tension, any thoughts of worry, any concerns that may have been occupying your mind. There is no rush. There is no agenda. This moment is yours to enjoy, to experience fully, without any pressure to do or achieve anything. You do not need to complete any tasks right now, nor do you need to manage anything. In this space, there is nothing you need to fix. You are simply invited to be. Just allow yourself to float in this moment, drifting gently into the vastness of thought. Imagine your thoughts as clouds floating by in the sky, each one unique, yet all part of the same vast expanse. You don't need to hold on to any one cloud for too long. Let each thought come and go, like passing breezes, without attaching any judgment or expectation to them. You are not in a rush to reach a conclusion, nor are you trying to arrive at any particular insight. You are simply here, in this present moment, experiencing the unfolding of your own consciousness. In this space, there is no need for any grand revelations. The simple act of being present is enough. The mind, like the universe, is full of infinite potential. Just as the universe is constantly expanding, so too is our capacity for thought and imagination. The more we explore our inner world, the more we begin to understand the vastness of what lies within. And in this exploration, we come to understand that there is always more to discover, always more to learn, always more to experience. The mind, like the universe, is infinite. And just as the universe is full of wonders we may never fully comprehend, so too is the mind full of mysteries waiting to be uncovered. But unlike the external world, which often demands our attention, the world within us invites us to explore at our own pace. It asks for nothing, only that we listen. It doesn't require us to rush or to conquer it. In fact, it is in the slowing down, in the quiet contemplation, that we begin to see the true beauty of this journey. It is in the stillness that we find clarity, in the pauses that we find wisdom. And in this, there is peace that we are not racing to reach an end point. There is no final destination to this journey. Instead, this is a journey that takes us deeper into ourselves, into the endless world of thought and imagination that resides within us all. And just as the universe expands infinitely, so too does the space within our minds. The more we journey inward, the more we discover new realms of possibility, new ways of thinking, new ways of understanding the world around us. This journey is not about what we achieve or what we accomplish. It is about the experience of being present, of simply existing in this moment without the need to rush or to strive. It is about finding peace in the quiet, wisdom in the stillness, and joy in the simple act of being. And in this, we are reminded that the greatest journey is not always the one that takes us outward, but the one that takes us inward, to the very heart of who we are. As you continue to sit here, in this moment of quiet contemplation, allow yourself to feel the infinite possibilities that exist within you. There is no rush. There is no destination. Simply allow yourself to be, to float in the vastness of thought, to explore the infinite landscape of your own mind. In this stillness, you may find that the answers you seek have always been within you, waiting to be discovered. And as you journey inward, you will find that the peace you seek is not somewhere out there, but right here, within you. Let go of all expectations and simply be. Just as the universe is vast and infinite, so too is your mind. And in this journey of quiet contemplation, you may find that the most profound discoveries are those that come not through action, but through stillness, through quiet, through peace, through presence. There is nothing you need to do right now. There are no tasks to complete, no problems to solve, no decisions waiting for your attention. This is not a moment for action or effort. This is a moment for simply being, a moment to rest, a moment to breathe, a moment to allow yourself to exist just as you are, without demands or expectations. The world outside may be full of noise, of busy schedules, of endless lists of things to accomplish. But here, in this space, none of that matters. Here, there is only calm, only stillness, only presence. You are here, and that is enough. That is everything. Allow yourself to let go. Let go of the tension you may be carrying in your body. Let your muscles soften. Let your shoulders drop. Let your hands rest gently by your sides. Allow your mind to release any worries, any racing thoughts, any concerns that might be pulling at your attention. Let them drift away like clouds across a wide, open sky. In this moment, you are safe. You are supported. You are resting quietly in the infinite embrace of time itself. Now, as we begin our journey, let us drift back, far back, through the winding corridors of history. We travel beyond the cities with their towering buildings, beyond the paved roads stretching across continents, beyond the hum of technology that fills our modern world. We go back to a time before electricity lit up the night, before machines powered our industries, before even the simplest tools were crafted by human hands. We arrive at a time when the earth was untouched by human design, a world ruled by the cycles of nature, by the rising and setting of the sun, by the quiet rhythm of the seasons. In this ancient world, there were only people, early humans, living in harmony with the land. They moved with the migrations of animals. They gathered fruits and plants that nature offered. They listened to the songs of birds and the whispering of winds through the trees. The sky above them was a canvas of stars, stretching endlessly in all directions, filling their nights with wonder and mystery. They lived without written words to capture their thoughts, without machines to measure their time, without the vast networks of communication that define our modern lives. Instead, they lived by the rhythm of the earth itself. They woke with the rising sun and rested when darkness fell. They learned from observing the world around them, the movements of animals, the patterns of the clouds, the growth of plants, and the flow of rivers. Every moment was part of a grand, natural cycle. Every day was guided by what they saw, heard, and felt. There was no rush, no urgency, no artificial schedule. Life unfolded as nature intended, one breath, one heartbeat, one sunrise at a time. As you imagine this world, allow yourself to feel its peace. Feel the cool earth beneath your feet. Feel the gentle breeze on your skin. Hear the soft rustle of leaves, the distant calls of birds, the calming hush of a nearby stream. Let the simplicity of this ancient time fill you with a deep sense of calm. In this place, there is no pressure. There are no expectations. There is only the present moment, only being. You are here, resting quietly in the endless arms of infinity. They sat around fires. These early humans sat together, sharing warmth, stories, and a deep connection to the world around them. They watched the skies, studied the movements of the stars, and listened to the sounds of the night. The world was their teacher. They learned from the earth, from the animals, from the plants, and from the very air they breathed. As they watched the world around them, they began to notice patterns that were simple but profound. They saw the moon rise and set, the sun follow its course through the sky, and the seasons change. The world seemed to move in a natural rhythm, and they began to observe, to understand, and eventually to count. Point 1, 2, 3. At first, these numbers were small, simple, easy to count. But as their lives began to grow more complex, they began to need more numbers. They counted the animals they saw, the days that passed, the food they gathered. They counted their footsteps, the stones they carried, and the trees they cut down. But even as they counted, they began to realize something. No matter how high they counted, there was always more. There was always something beyond what they could see or understand. Numbers grew. As these early humans grew in their understanding, so did their need for more complex systems of counting. They invented symbols to represent larger numbers, marks in clay, lines carved into bones, stones stacked on top of each other. One line meant one thing. Two lines meant two things. And as they needed to count more and more, they invented new symbols, new ways to represent greater quantities. Their counting systems grew more sophisticated, and with that, the concept of numbers began to take on a new life. They were no longer just counting things. They were counting the very essence of the world around them, feeling the patterns that governed life itself. But no matter how large the number, there was always more. The more they counted, the more they realized that there was always another step, another number, always something beyond what they could measure. And this realization, this infinite, boundless nature of numbers, led them to the idea of infinity. Infinity is not just a number or a final destination. It is a concept, a direction that stretches beyond what we can see or understand. Infinity is not a place. Infinity is not a place you can visit. It is not a destination you can mark on a map, nor a landmark you can arrive at. You cannot touch it. You cannot stand within it or look at it from afar. Infinity cannot be measured in miles or reached in hours. It is not something that lies just beyond the next hill or on the other side of the stars. It is something different, something more abstract, something more mysterious. Infinity is a realization. It is the understanding that no matter how far you go, physically, mentally, spiritually, there will always be more. Another step, another discovery, another layer to unfold. It means that the journey is never truly over, that the road continues, forever, winding endlessly in every direction. You can travel for a lifetime, and there will still be something just beyond the horizon. The ancient Greeks understood this concept with astonishing clarity. One of their philosophers, Zeno of Elea, posed a question that has echoed through time. Zeno's paradox. Zeno offered a simple but profound scenario. He asked, if you want to walk across a room, you must first walk halfway there. And then, from that point, you must walk halfway again. And then halfway again. And again. No matter how many times you repeat this, there is always another halfway point to reach. You are forever dividing the distance. This is Zeno's paradox. It shows that, in theory, you never actually arrive. You keep approaching your goal, always getting closer, but never fully reaching the end point. The distance becomes smaller and smaller, yet it never disappears. This paradox is not about walking or rooms. It is about how we understand progress, motion, and the passage of time. It invites us to see infinity not as something that happens only in the stars or in equations, but in the simplest actions of our everyday lives. Infinity, Zeno reminds us, is not a finish line. It is a journey that never ends, a path with no final step, a movement without a final stop. And in many ways, that is how our lives are too. We are always growing, always learning, always reaching towards something more. Even when we think we have arrived, there is always another idea to explore, another emotion to understand, another step to take. Infinity doesn't just stretch outward. We often imagine infinity as something vast, something out there, far away, stretching into the blackness of space. And it does. The universe expands in every direction, possibly without edge or boundary. Galaxies drift endlessly through the cosmos. Light from ancient stars travels for billions of years, still never touching the end. But infinity also exists in the opposite direction. It exists inward. Imagine taking something very small, a point, a line, a space, and zooming in. Closer and closer. Smaller and smaller. A simple line, for instance, seems so easy to understand. But zoom in deeply, and that line reveals more and more detail. The closer you look, the more there is to see. You can always divide it. Always. Examine it more closely. There is no final level of detail. No ultimate, indivisible point. Just like the stars stretch outward endlessly, the details within stretch inward just the same. In geometry, infinity is everywhere. Mathematics, in its most elegant form, whispers the truth of infinity. A straight line continues forever in both directions. It has no starting point, no end point. Shapes can stretch without limit. Angles can be divided infinitely. Circles can be sliced into smaller and smaller pieces, always revealing more, never ending. Even when we try to measure the world around us, we find that precision can only go so far. Every fraction can be halved. Every number has a smaller number that comes before it. We use symbols to represent infinity, but we never reach it. It remains in the background, just out of grasp, always present, always watching, always inviting. Infinity in geometry is a reminder that we are working with ideas far larger and far deeper than the tools we use to describe them. Fractals are another way to understand infinity. A fractal is a shape or pattern that repeats itself endlessly, no matter how closely you look. Zoom in, and the same shape appears again. Zoom in further, and it appears once more. This repetition continues forever, each layer mirroring the last. You are not seeing something new. You are seeing infinity. Nature is full of fractals. Consider the branches of a tree. A single trunk splits into large limbs. Those limbs split into branches. Those branches split into smaller branches. And on it goes, from the largest boughs to the smallest twigs, each reflecting the pattern of the whole. The same is true for the delicate veins of a leaf, the flow of rivers carving through land, the intricate design of snowflakes. Fractals show us that infinity isn't just reserved for the vast and the cosmic. It exists in the small, quiet details of everyday life. It exists in the things we pass by without noticing. It is present in nature's rhythms and repetitions, its patterns and cycles. It tells us that even within limits, infinity finds a way to express itself. In these shapes, in these patterns, in these quiet truths, we come to understand infinity is not somewhere else. It is not unreachable. It is here, all around us. It is in the large, the small, the near, the far. It is in the space we inhabit, the time we live in, and the thoughts we carry with us as we drift quietly through the story of existence. The Mandelbrot set. One of the most famous examples of infinity in mathematics is the Mandelbrot set. This fractal is a shape that reveals new patterns no matter how far you zoom in. As you zoom in, new shapes appear, each one unique, yet part of the same overall pattern. This process never stops. The further you zoom in, the more you discover. The Mandelbrot set is a perfect example of how infinity exists in even the most simple and beautiful shapes. Hilbert's Hotel. In 1924, mathematician David Hilbert proposed an idea to help us understand infinity. He imagined a hotel with an infinite number of rooms, all filled with guests. Despite the fact that every room is full, a new guest arrives. What happens? The hotel manager moves each guest to the next room. Guest 1 moves to room 2. Guest 2 moves to room 3, and so on. Suddenly, room 1 is available for the new guest, even though the hotel is full. This paradox shows us that infinity doesn't behave like we expect. Even when something seems full, infinity can always make more space. Cantor's discovery of different infinities. George Cantor, a mathematician, made a groundbreaking discovery about infinity. He showed that there are different sizes of infinity. For example, the set of counting numbers 1, 2, 3, and so on represents one type of infinity. But between 0 and 1, there are even more numbers that can't be counted in a simple sequence. Cantor's discovery showed that infinity is not just one thing. It is a vast, complex idea that stretches beyond our understanding. Infinity in the universe. What about the universe itself? Is it infinite? This is one of the deepest questions that humanity has ever asked. Some scientists believe that the universe may indeed be infinite, stretching outward in every direction, with no boundaries, no edges, and no end. If this is true, then space continues endlessly, far beyond the farthest stars, beyond the most distant galaxies, into realms we can scarcely imagine. In an infinite universe, there could be countless galaxies, countless stars, countless planets, perhaps even an infinite number of versions of our own world, existing in far-off regions of space we will never reach. Other scientists propose that the universe may not be infinite in a simple, straightforward way. Instead, they suggest that the universe may be curved or shaped in ways that we cannot yet fully comprehend. It may loop back on itself, much like the surface of a sphere. In this scenario, if you could travel far enough in one direction, you might eventually return to your starting point, having crossed the entire universe without ever encountering an edge. The idea of an infinite universe also brings with it strange and fascinating possibilities. If space truly stretches on forever, then the laws of probability suggest that somewhere, in some distant region of space, there might be another version of you. Someone who looks like you, who thinks like you, who lives a life similar to yours, but perhaps with subtle differences. In an infinite universe, every possible arrangement of matter might exist somewhere. Every possible version of reality could be playing out in some faraway corner of existence. The thought of this vast, unending cosmos invites us to marvel at the sheer scale of infinity and to reflect on our own small, precious place within it. Infinity in philosophy. The concept of infinity has also long fascinated philosophers, who have pondered its meaning for thousands of years. One of the most intriguing philosophical ideas related to infinity is known as infinite regress. This idea suggests that for every cause, there is a cause before it, a chain that stretches backward endlessly, without a true starting point. If we ask, what caused the universe? We are led to ask, and what caused that cause? And the cause before that? With each answer, a new question arises, pulling us further back into the infinite past. This endless chain raises profound questions about the nature of reality, time, and existence itself. Is there a first cause, a true beginning, or does everything exist within an unbroken, eternal cycle of causes and effects? If there is no first cause, then existence itself may be timeless, without a true origin, existing beyond the boundaries of beginning and end. Philosophers have wrestled with these questions for centuries, and still, no clear answers have emerged. Instead, the idea of infinite regress continues to challenge our understanding, reminding us of the mysteries that lie at the heart of existence. It reveals how our minds struggle to grasp true infinity, how our logic encounters paradoxes when trying to navigate the endless. Yet, within this mystery, there is also beauty, a sense of wonder at the depth and complexity of reality, and at the boundless nature of thought itself. Infinity in religion. Infinity takes on an even more profound meaning within the realm of religion and spirituality. Many religious traditions describe the divine as infinite, eternal, boundless, and beyond the limits of human comprehension. The divine, in this sense, exists outside of time and space, unmeasurable and everlasting. It is not bound by the laws of physics, nor limited by the dimensions of the material world that in many faiths. Infinity is used to express the eternal nature of God or the divine source of all existence. This is a being that has no beginning and no end, who was never created and will never cease to be. The divine infinite is often described as being beyond human language and thought, something we can feel and sense, but never fully explain or capture with words. Infinity in religion is also tied to ideas of eternal life, of timeless existence beyond the physical world. Some traditions speak of infinite love, infinite wisdom, and infinite grace, qualities that are perfect, endless, and unchanging. In contemplating the infinite nature of the divine, believers are invited to move beyond the limited perspective of everyday life, to glimpse something far greater, far more profound than the finite world we see with our eyes. This spiritual infinity offers comfort and awe. It suggests that there is a larger reality beyond our brief lives, a boundless source of meaning and purpose that extends far beyond what we can imagine. In this way, the idea of infinity becomes not just a concept to think about, but a mystery to feel, to trust, and to find peace within. Infinity in mathematics. In mathematics, infinity is not just a concept, it is a tool. In calculus, for example, infinity helps us understand limits, functions, and asymptotes. It is a way to solve problems that seem unsolvable. Infinity is not just a theoretical idea, it is a practical tool that helps us navigate the complexities of the world. Gabriel's horn. Gabriel's horn is a strange shape in mathematics. It has finite volume, meaning you can fill it with paint, but its surface area is infinite. You could never cover its entire surface, no matter how much paint you use. This paradox challenges our understanding of space and surface area, showing that infinity can exist in unexpected ways. Infinity is present in nature. Look closely at the world around you. If you observe carefully, you will begin to see that infinity is not a distant abstraction. It is here, present in the smallest details of nature. The spirals of seashells, curling outward in perfect mathematical precision, seem to stretch endlessly as they grow. The petals of a sunflower arrange themselves in a spiraling pattern known as the Fibonacci sequence, a pattern that can be found again and again throughout the natural world. The branching of trees, the delicate veins of leaves, the intricate networks of rivers carving paths through the land, all reveal nature's love of repetition and pattern. Nature is a quiet artist, endlessly weaving these repeating designs into everything that lives and breathes. It builds layer upon layer, branch upon branch, cycle upon cycle. Clouds form, dissolve, and form again. Waves roll onto the shore, endlessly repeating their gentle rhythm. Seasons cycle endlessly, each blending seamlessly into the next, without a clear beginning or end. Even the smallest snowflake carries within it a fractal design, a pattern that repeats itself at every scale, hinting at the infinite complexity hiding in the tiniest corners of the world. Infinity lives here, in every breath of wind, in every drop of rain, in every sunrise and sunset. It is a silent force that shapes the way the world grows, expands, and evolves. It whispers through the forests, glimmers on the surface of oceans, and dances in the swirling galaxies above. Infinity is not apart from nature, it is nature's very essence. Infinity in your dreams. Sometimes, your mind touches infinity when you sleep. In your dreams, you may find yourself standing at the edge of a vast ocean that stretches endlessly to the horizon. Or you might find yourself walking down a hallway that seems to go on forever, with doors that lead to more doors and staircases that spiral upward without end. These are glimpses of infinity, born not from logic, but from the boundless creativity of your mind that in dreams, the usual rules of space and time dissolve. You are free to wander through landscapes without borders, to climb stairways that never reach a top, to travel across endless plains, to swim through skies without limits. Your subconscious explores infinity in ways that waking thought cannot. It creates worlds where there is always something more, something just beyond the next corner, always another path to follow, another horizon to chase. These dreamscapes remind us of the vastness of existence itself. They hint at the infinite possibilities that lie within your own imagination, showing you that even within the quiet space of your own mind, infinity is present, limitless, ever expanding, always inviting you to explore what lies beyond. Infinity is familiar. You do not need to search far to sense infinity. It is already part of your everyday experience. You feel it when you stand beneath a starlit sky, gazing upward into the endless expanse of the cosmos. You hear it in the deep silence of the night, a silence that stretches beyond all sound, inviting you into a space that feels infinite. You sense it in moments of love that feel boundless, in moments of hope that seem unshakable, in moments of peace that feel as though they could last forever. Infinity lives in the connections you make, in the stories you tell, in the feelings that fill your heart. It is not something distant, not something reserved for grand scientific theories or complex equations. It lives within you. It moves quietly through your life, woven into the laughter of children, the comfort of old friendships, the unspoken understanding between two people. It exists in the cycles of life: birth, growth, change, and renewal, each flowing into the next, unending. Infinity is not foreign. It is not strange. It is familiar. It has been with you since the very beginning. It is a part of your breath, your heartbeat, your dreams. It walks beside you through every moment of your life, gently reminding you that while life may feel small at times, it is always connected to something far greater. Infinity is not a place. Infinity is not a destination. It is not a city you can visit, not a mountain you can climb, not a line you can cross. It is not something you can touch with your hands or capture with your eyes. Infinity is not a thing at all. It is a direction. It is a journey that has no final stop, no last chapter, no conclusion. Infinity is the story of the universe itself, endlessly unfolding. It stretches outward in all directions, into the past, into the future, into the unknown depths of space and time. It expands beyond galaxies, beyond the edges of the observable universe, beyond what we can ever measure or know. It also stretches inward, into the smallest particles, into the intricate complexity of atoms, into the unseen worlds that exist within every cell of your body. Infinity is not something we can own. It is something we sense, something we feel, something we glimpse in moments of wonder. It is a reminder that the universe is far larger than our minds can grasp. It invites us to step into mystery, to embrace the unknown, to find peace in the endless unfolding of existence. And as we do, we come to understand that infinity is not far away. It is here, always here, surrounding us, carrying us, gently guiding us forward on a journey without end. Now, let your mind float. Gently now, release any lingering thoughts. Allow your mind to drift softly, like a feather carried on a quiet breeze. There is no need to think, no need to analyze, no need to plan. Simply let go. Allow yourself to float effortlessly through the vast expanse of space and time. Imagine yourself gliding through the endless cosmos, past stars that shimmer like distant candles, past galaxies swirling gracefully in the silent depths of the universe. With each breath, feel yourself become lighter. Lighter than air, lighter than light itself. Drifting gently, you are carried farther and farther into the great openness, where time has no meaning, where distance fades into nothing, where only the quiet remains. Feel the peace that surrounds you, the deep, infinite peace that comes with knowing you are part of something immeasurable, something vast, something beautiful beyond words. You are not separate from this vastness. You are not a stranger here. You are a small part of the whole, but you belong to it completely. Your existence matters. You are a perfect, unique piece of the infinite puzzle, a note in the endless song of the universe, a thread in the boundless tapestry of existence. Your story is one among countless others, but it is precious. It is part of the great unfolding story that has no end. As you drift, feel the comfort of being held by something greater than yourself. The vastness does not overwhelm you. Instead, it embraces you, like gentle arms wrapping around your entire being. There is no fear here, no tension, no worry, only peace. Pure, quiet peace. Tonight, you rest in the quiet embrace of infinity. The stars above shine softly, like ancient eyes watching over you. The galaxies spin slowly, whispering secrets only. The universe understands. And here you are, resting quietly in this eternal embrace. Your body grows heavy, sinking into calm stillness. Your muscles release their tension. Your breath flows effortlessly, slow and steady, like the gentle waves of a timeless sea. In this moment, you are perfectly at peace. The noise of the world has faded. The demands, the pressures, the expectations, all have melted away, leaving only this soft, quiet space. Here, your mind is calm. Your body is still. Your soul feels the gentle pulse of the infinite universe around you, as if you are floating within the very heartbeat of existence itself. Rest here. Let your thoughts dissolve into the vastness. Let your worries dissolve into the stars. Let your soul stretch into the endless expanse, feeling the timeless rhythm of creation. You are part of something greater, far greater than any one moment, greater than any one lifetime. You are woven into something eternal, something without end. And in this quiet, infinite embrace, you find peace. You are safe. You are whole. You are home.